It wasn't like this river here where you have a little sand and rock and everything to climb out on. As soon as you get up by a log jam and have to go around it, you step into a foot of mud. So Mark here, he's going in, he's got his little swim shorts on. You know, by the time he sits down, 3/4 of his legs are showing in the sun. He's got his shirt off and he's just having a ball. Well, a little into the little end, I says, "Hey bud, you're getting a little pink." He's like, "I'm all right." I says, "You want me to rub some tanning lotion on you, sunscreen?" And he's like, no, I'm good. I don't burn." And I'm like, "Bud, looking like you're starting to burn." He's like, "No, I'm good. I don't burn." So anyhow, we go a little bit farther and he's getting red and more red. And pretty soon I said, "Hey, you better put your shirt on." And I finally got him to put his shirt on. By then it was way too late. He was already crisp. And so we went on a little farther. You know, it took us 6.5 hours, and probably about 3.5 hours in, he was burnt pretty darn bad, and enough where he quit paddling. And then pretty soon he was slumping forward into pain, and he kept asking, how much farther, how much farther? I'm like, "Hey bud, I don't know, buddy, but I've never been on this river." So I just kept paddling, and he just kept belly aching how much farther it was going to be and what I told him. And he kept saying, "Well, you only told me 3 hours and it's way past that." And I'm like, "Hey, I told you when we left. I didn't know. I was guesstimation." And so anyway, he was burnt, and we seen deer and we seen a bear, and he never got to enjoy the wildlife that we seen because he was in pain. And he learned a valuable lesson. And of course, it wasn't but a couple of weeks later he broke up with my sister. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it or not. But yeah, when you're going into unfamiliar territory in a boat, you might want to cover up with sunscreen and shirts and long pants if you don't know how far you're going or all that. That's a nice little place up here on the hill. Got their deck, and looks like a little log house, and I got a garage over there. Pretty nice. Right up there. Yeah, so this brings back a lot of memories on this here water. Of course, I used to live up in Gladwin, Michigan, and they have the Manistee and the Osabo. And back then I was working a job where I worked 4 days a week and had 3 days to paddle. So it was pretty fun. Of course, I had sled dogs at that time. I had 24 sled dogs and 3 horses. So I was canoeing and riding horses every day, and it was a great time. That was before I went up to Alaska. Took my sled dogs up there and run a few races. And I guess as time goes on, I'll tell you more about my adventures, because I probably could write a book, a couple books, about my time on the rivers and riding horses, my time in Alaska. But those are stories for another video. We'll just enjoy the river. Oops, there's a rock. No, I went over it. Yeah, here we come into what when I was a kid we call high banks. That's because there's a little bit of a high bank. It's not real high, but we call them high banks back when we were kids. When I referred to where we were going, is up here a little ways there's trails and stuff that we'd ride our bikes out to the river and swim and fish and stuff like that. This spot right here is a nice swimming spot. It's not, it's not deep, it's probably 5 foot deep, 6 foot deep. It's not real deep. It's nice and sandy, no rocks. But I'm not swimming today. Although the water is pretty warm. I'm surprised when I stepped down in it barefoot. Sometimes it can be, earlier on it can be cold. I took a first back in 2014 when I got this boat. I decided to take it on a run from Gladwin to Beaverton on this same river here, and since the canoe business was renting canoes and stuff still, I thought maybe they had the river cleared out, but it turned out it was early, the snow was just off, and I was itching to go. It was mid-March, I believe, and boy, that was another one where it was